Hello everyone. The Stamps of Life has come out with a new online class called Seaside, Seagulls. And it's such a cute set. So I decided to make a card using the stamped images and cutting them out so you can see or get an idea of what they look like. What I first do is take a scrap piece of watercolor paper. It's bigger than the front panel of an A2 size card. And I drip water down on it and then slowly add color by just dropping the color in. I'm using Caron Brush Pro markers, and the colors I'm using are turquoise and magenta. So just pretty much like a little kid, just throwing water down with some color. After I do that, I go and I grab the 2-pack rectangle sets. They're meant for layering. I usually use the little one as a guide on how I want to, position the elements on the card. It just gives you a nice view of how big it's going to be. So once I get an idea, I go ahead and I'm going to tape it down because I'm going to run it through my spell binders. And now I'm picking the back color. I mean, they all work well with the splatters, but I went with the razzleberry. I'm always a pink girl at heart. So that one won. So and here I am now taking a piece of burlap to add some texture to the card and gluing down the elements. The seagulls on the, what are they called, piles, wood piles? They're mounted on sponges to give it a little bit of a lift. I guess maybe sponges is not the word, maybe foam. Foam squares. Now I have a little problem with this little bird because he looks kind of lost. So I went and added a hat. I took that from Lates for Birthdays. I took the hat, but I had to trim it down to fit his head. And I also went ahead and stamped the balloon and cut that out as well. I had some watercolor left on the palette, so I just used that to fill it in. And so here I'm positioning. And I'm deciding that I want to put a string. The stamp set comes with a little tiny string, and I thought it'd be cute to add that on, but I shouldn't have done that. You'll see here in a minute why. So I glue the balloon down, and I'm going to stamp the string. And you see my big head in the way, excuse that. And I realized that I didn't get a clean stamp. So now you'll see my big head again as I go in and with a fine tip marker and fill in the areas that didn't stamp well. And now the little bird looks a little bit not so naked. So here I'm stamping the inside of the card. I always cut out a panel instead of stamping in my base because I always mess up. So this is, to me, is like an insurance policy. If for whatever reason I screw up stamping, I can always flip it around and use the other side. Here's my card base, A2 size. And I'm gluing the inside panel. And now I'm going to take the completed panel and glue that to the front of the card. And that's the card. Those little seagulls are so cute. Hopefully you're able to attend the class.